The current trend in the NFL is to become a positionless league where we're having multi-positional players that play linebacker and edge, wide receiver, and running back. Quarterbacks who are not only pocket passers but are also mobile as well. This can be said for University of Georgia linebacker Jalon Walker and the likes of him. Walker is a linebacker at Georgia who also sometimes occasionally will show some snaps at edge. What makes him so unique? We'll find out in this film breakdown. In the NFL, if you're a linebacker and especially if you're on that defensive line, like Jalen Walker is at times, you have to be really stout in the run game and with your run defense, and he is. So on this particular play, he's going to Jalen Walker's number 11 right here in white. He's going to be responsible for the right side of this right tackle. So he fills the gap perfectly. Then when he sees that the run is intended to go to the opposite side, he has that pursuit and tracking with his speed to make a tackle. Similar situation, although a different play ran by Clemson. So for Clemson, this is going to be an RPO look for them. Jalen Walker is going to be responsible for this gap right in through here, if you can see with the mouse. It's going to be to the offensive line's right side and the right side of the right tackle. So watch, he does it perfectly. Has the as I get it to play, has the surf technique. He closes that gap because a lot of times on the on these RPO actions and designs, you want to squeeze this gap so that way the back doesn't have a lane here. But you also want to be disciplined enough to not let anything spill outside. He sees it's a handoff to the back, very quick to react. He just plants one foot in the ground, very much like a running back, and is able to make a tackle for loss right here. So here we are for the very next play. Similar design, different side. And in this instance, he's going to have to fight off a block from the left tackle. As I play it, RPO clip from Clemson. He has his eyes peaked, so that way, if the quarterback does take it out and run with it, the main thing is you have to have eyes on the ball. You have to see where it's going. It goes outside, quarterback is going to take it, fight off the block. In a short yardage situation, you get a tackle for loss or no gain. I'm absolutely in love in the tackle that Jalen Walker makes right here. So, like we saw in those last couple of clips, right? It was short yardage situations. He's either making a tackle for loss or no gain. And right here, I just love how he just drives the running back or the ball carrier backwards. He does not let them fall forward, gain any extra yards or any extra momentum. And I mean, right here, kind of a poor effort from the guard right here, but nonetheless, I mean, look at how low he gets right there. In football, they always say that the low man wins. Well, that's textbook position, and he just drives the backwards. So like in short yardage, third and short, fourth and inches, fourth and one, you need your defensive linemen and linebackers to drive the ball carrier backwards, not let him gain an inch. He's perfect for that. Here, Ole Miss is running a wide zone to the right side, and that's usually going to create a lane to the outside for the back to take it and bounce it outside, or that's going to create a lane to the backside of the offensive lineman, which sometimes is right here, right? We see some running backs, if it's not there to the outside, they'll cut it back inside. So Jalen Walker's pursuit and his angle discipline has to be really stout. It is. He's in a perfect position and he's able to make a tackle for loss in the open field. I mean, that's a pretty difficult tackle to make, and he does it pretty easily. For as much praise as Jalen Walker gets in rushing the passer, I think an equal amount or greater needs to be applied to his pass defense. So here, as I play the clip, there's Jalen Walker in the circle. We've understood at this point that it's play action. Quinn Ewers takes the ball. Now, most linebackers, when they see it's play action like that, they'll turn their head and they'll look to get back into their zone or look for passing options to potentially cover. And you see the tight end, right? The tight end is he slips through. He's going to be running a crossing route. Texas is trying to either get Jalon Walker to commit to the play action, which he doesn't, he stays disciplined, or have him bite on this over route by the tight end. He still stays disciplined to it. It's also a good thing from his teammate to just disrupt the timing right here of the halfback on the screen, but he stays disciplined. He's in a perfect position to guard the screen, and he also gets a tackle for loss or no gain. So watch Walker right here in the circle. Just, I mean, his constant motor, discipline. He splits the blockers here on this play as well. Understands it's a pass, able to split through two blockers, make a tackle for no gain. I mean, just that constant motor is what NFL teams are gonna love. Covering the pass, Jalon Walker, he has discipline, he has a constant motor, he reads the offensive lineman very well to be able to determine a run or a pass. I mean, he makes tackles in the open field that are very difficult, fights through blockers. There's not too much more you can like. He stays disciplined, reads the blockers, able to fight off the block right there from the offensive lineman, make a huge tackle for loss and or no gain in the open field. And now for the fun part that we've all been waiting for, seeing how Jalon Walker is as a pass rusher. So here he is to the right side right here. I'm just so surprised at how polished he is as a pass rusher, the counters he has, the different techniques he uses, pretty remarkable. So there he is. He gets that right arm. Uses that long arm to extend on the right tackle. The right tackle also has their right arm trying to get it to his left pec. It actually hits his face mask, but you can see Walker's fight. He's using his left hand to fight off the right tackle's left hand. He does that. He even gets it. The tackle even gets a little bit of hands to the face there, pushes Walker in the back, and he's still able to make the sack. Walker's go-to when it comes to rushing the passer is definitely the club arm over, and we see it in this clip right here. There's Walker, number 11, to the left center of the screen. He's going to use his right arm to really just pat the offensive lineman on the back. It leans them forward, and then he uses his left arm to extend over in like a swim move, in a sense. Just completely obliterates him, gets pressure. In this particular play, Jalon Walker he's going to act as like a QB spy, and I mean he just does it perfectly. It shows how he can get out in space. He has good discipline, uh, gets a pressure, forces an errant pass from the quarterback. Walker's pursuit and change of direction at his measurables is pretty remarkable. So he's on a blitz to the quarterback, and not Quinn Ewers. This is actually Arch Manning. Arch is going to look to throw, and watch the transition it takes for Jalon Walker to react to the throw, realize it's not a throw, and then pursue the quarterback. Just plants one foot in the ground like a halfback, and is no wasted movement, able to still pursue the quarterback. Watch him there. Kind of a jump cut, plant one foot of the ground, go, pursue the quarterback, force another errant pass. Again, his pursuit, the way he gets out in space and is able to force errant passes on the quarterback and really get them uncomfortable, is top notch what he does. Might sound repetitive, but it's been a while since I've seen a pass rusher with the sort of motor that he has. And his motor definitely the best in the class. So there he is. The Texas is having a back chip to his side, and you see how like Walker's he's really athletic, right? So the tackle, they're good. They're getting so much depth, and they're even watch how they're positioned. They're positioning themselves to have Walker just want to work him this way, not let him get too much depth or use his athleticism against you. And it's just consistent motor, hand fighting, gets even thrown to the ground, and with the back of his helmet is still able to make a tackle. That's tremendous motor. NFL teams are going to love him. So for halfbacks, you hear the term jump cuts. Oh, he uses a lot of jump cuts to get into the hole or to make decisions and their patience and whatnot. And I haven't seen a edge rusher use jump cuts quite like the way Walker does. So it's a running back skill that he's converted into pass rushing. Texas is going to be chipping with the tight end to his side. He makes a jump cut to the inside, sees that the tackle has enough depth, and quickly makes another jump cut to the inside. Just that quick, no wasted movement, easy jump cuts, just really sensational. Long arm, path to the quarterback, make a tackle or a sack. Relentless has to come up on the report like multiple times when you're reading it for Jalon Walker. And in this particular play, I mean, a lot of tackles know that he has crazy bend, he's crazy athletic. We don't want him to get to the outside, so we'll kind of invite him to the inside. He understands that, and a lot of times he has counter moves to set them up outside and then work back inside. It's pretty tremendous. But then right here, he goes inside. Tackles got tackle seems like they're in a good position for him, but then he's just got that drive, that motor. Again, force some would have been not an errant pass, but he just creates pressure, right? And at the very least, we if you're not getting sacks, which are very hard to do, at least create pressure, force a quarterback to be uneasy. Another term that I think better show up on the scouting report, and it's usually used for a lot of running backs, and it's elusive because he squeezes through offensive linemen, and it's I mean squeezes through gaps, squeezes through offensive linemen, creates pressure, creates havoc consistently. So there he is in the red circle, fights through the offensive between the two offensive linemen, creating pressure. I mean, from that picture right there, it looks like it should be a hold. Gets a hand, forces an interception. I mean, just incredible. Membu is very good player. A lot of people and draft analysts project him to go in the first round and even in the top 10 of this upcoming draft. And Jalon Walker was just he was having an absolute day. So there he is. Forces outside, right? He's skilled knowing that what the opponent is trying to take away from him and then using that to his advantage. Works outside, but then has this spin move to counter back inside and make a pretty tough ankle tackle. Another thing I want to mention with Jalon Walker is he's got really impressive get off, and it shows right here in this clip. So you combine the get off with the ankle flexibility and the hip flexibility to really round that edge tightly to the quarterback. Really remarkable stuff. The get off and then just able to have that hip and ankle flexibility to round the edge that smoothly. Just so elusive. Works outside, goes back inside, and also uses the arm over. As you can see, the tackles having their top half of their body weight lean forward, using that to his advantage. Really beats him right there on that play. So here is like an absolute perfect example of Jalon Walker's bend. And really, I haven't seen a edge rusher have this type of bend since David Ojabo. Um, it's just remarkable stuff that he has and incredible tools. The get off and then the bend, right? Tackle, I mean, you have your own body weight, right? Then you have the tackle pushing you, trying to push your momentum away from the quarterback. But that ankle and hip flexibility to sharpen that edge and get the strip sack right there. And here's just another example of the same things we're talking about. Ankle and hip flexibility, bend, ability to just round that corner very tightly. I mean, in this clip, the center right here is in a good position. Jalon Walker is coming in a little bit high. The center has the leverage. He should be able to completely wash him out of the play and wash him out of the path to the QB. But that doesn't happen. I mean, just to turn. And then now that center is in a bad position. I mean, just you saw the way he turned that edge very tightly, right? I mean, that is a unique skill. I'm an avid follower of college football. Every Friday and Saturday, it's on the television, and I have not seen a player tackle Jalen Milroe, who's tremendously athletic and elusive, in the open field until I seen this clip right here by Jalon Walker. So there he is to the bottom of the screen right there, number 11, makes a tackle on Jalen Milroe in the open field. I mean, and there's some similar athletic quarterbacks like that in the NFL. If he isn't like creating sacks, he's creating pressure at the very least, and splitting offensive linemen. Here's a perfect example of the term elusive where it comes into play right here. So there's Jalon Walker to the bottom of the screen, arm over move, splits and shoots the gap between the two offensive linemen right there. Very quick to the quarterback, forces another errant behind pass. Talking about that unique skill set that he's learned, perfect example of it in this play. And the edge rushers that use this kind of technique that he does right here are the top and the best of the best. So there's Jalon Walker right there where the arrow is. He's got right, remember, crazy bend, athleticism. He can dip under the arms of the offensive lineman and tackles. So just watch him right there. You saw that move, right? Watch right there. He uses what is called the ghost hand. And when you use that ghost hand, it gets the tackle very much like this right tackle here to extend their arm out. And really they're extending and hitting nothing but air. But when they're doing that, they're off balance. And he just has that crazy athleticism to round the edge, round the corner. I mean, that ghost hand move, that's elite, and that's stuff from the best of the best. And for the final clip of the day, it gets even better. So watch him here to the left side of the screen on this chop move. Chop move, then they'd be able to bend, create constant pressure. I mean, the unique skill sets and the variety of moves that he has in that toolbox as a pass rusher, combined with what he does in the run game and pass defense. We have just a remarkable player that has to be, at the very least, in the top 10. That is final for the tape study portion of this video. And now getting into the summary of when a team drafts Jalon Walker, what are they getting? Playing under Kirby Smart and at the University of Georgia, you're going to get three things out of defensive linemen, linebackers, and really all Georgia defenders. They're going to have a high IQ, they're going to have polished technique, and they're going to be very excellent in the run game. All of those things Jalon Walker has. I mean, we talked about it in this video, right? His run defense, very good. Plus, you combine his athleticism with that run defense, and it's excellent. Then the pass defense is something that really doesn't get a whole lot of talk or hype, but I think it should because he's very disciplined. He has that sideline to sideline athleticism, speed, short area quickness. Again, very disciplined. And then what makes everybody fall in love with him is the repertoire and tools that he has as a pass rusher. The bend, ankle, and hip flexibility combined with the ability for him to dip under the tackle's arms is very reminiscent of Von Miller. And I really haven't seen a whole lot of players, especially edge rushers, recently have that kind of that trait or that skill, right? We talk about unique skills. Those are things he has, and at the collegiate level, you have to figure when he gets into the pros and he's in his third, fourth, fifth year, it's just going to take him to that next level. So there are like comparing him and Jahad Campbell. I think overall I like Jalon Walker, and they're very similar players, right? They have reps at edge rusher. They also play linebacker, but the total package that Jalon Walker has, I like that much more. And from in the position of non-traditional edge, right? Traditional edge rushers, we figure Abdul Carter's number one, but then non-traditional, it's Jalon Walker at number one. And if we're gonna compare Abdul Carter and Jalon Walker, I'll still take Abdul Carter, but Jalon Walker is a very close second.